All right, so you're thinking about walking with God. Let me tell you, it's not easy in the least bit. Um, Honestly, it's gonna be a lot of roller coasters because until you make that decision that you're gonna walk with Him, right? First off, you kind of have to have some kind of tug, some kind of pull to work, or not to work, just to submit yourself. That's the right term. Submit yourself under the leadership, under the authority of Jesus Christ. But for me, it didn't start like, oh, I'm gonna follow God in that one instant. It was more of a steady progression. Didn't even come in the mindset of following God. It was, I need to better my habits. I need to better myself because I'm tired of getting drunk, right? I'm tired of passing out. I'm tired of trying to fight everybody. I'm tired of spending money on strip clubs and bars and, all this stuff that, for what, if I'm not even remembering, right? Like I'm passing out. And again, it was just, I'm not a good drunk either. So it was like, what's the point, man? Right? Everybody else was cool, but for some reason, like, man, I guess I'm just lightweight, right? But that's just my sign, and a lot of, God gives us these inborn characteristics for that reason. If you have something that it is that you struggle with, or maybe it's an attitude. Well, obviously we all have attitude problems in the initial beginnings, but the main thing is there has to be something that clicks in your mind, like, hey, I need to change it. I need to remove this way of being, this way of living, and start to progress in this new way. And once you get to terms with that realization, that's when it's like, okay, there's a desire inside you that wants to read. There's something that's calling you to watch that sermon. There's something that's calling you to better your habits, right? And at first it's hard. Well, it's not really hard. The hard part is when you kind of have the information, you kind of know where you want to go. Now it's just doing it, right? Now it's just getting that momentum. The hardest part is creating that momentum, getting that sorry, I was doing I was recording a video and I didn't really like it. The lighting was pretty bad. And I'm pretty good at doing one side, so let's try to finish this one side and as we talk. But yeah, so I was just tired of my behavior, right? I wasn't getting no friends because of it. I was losing my friends. I'm tired of saying sorry because they know it's not really, like, you're not really serious, bro. Like, you keep making the same mistakes. So obviously they didn't tell me that, but I kind of had that feeling. You see, we got one side. Let's try to see if we could. But yeah, it was pretty much that easy. Like, I'm tired of these mess ups. I'm tired of these screw ups. It's time I need to look deeper, During this time, I'm going to school. School isn't really working out. I'm still in that point. It wasn't until I got that notification. I submitted my graduate application to obviously graduate. Came back, you didn't graduate. So I worked for my cousin, washing cars. Humbling, super humbling, from thinking, oh, I'm gonna, climb the ladder, being something more solidified. Now I'm working for my younger cousin that has a business that's already picking up, right? And it was actually more of a perfect timing kind of situation, more of an excitement rather than woe is me, right? Because now I'm not only working with a family member I know I'm comfortable with, I'm working and I'm kind of more to myself. I'm playing my AirPods, music, right? I'm working on nice vehicles with business owners, luxury cars. Again, I'm telling you, this is when his business started picking up. So now he's getting all these clients and everything. And I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. The fact that I can not only like work on my own future, right? Which was at the time stocks and all that stuff, and also the reading, the self-development journey. I'm working on this business with my cousin, right? And everything was just looking up. The fact that I didn't pass or make it to college was all good because I have something that I'm actually working towards. And again, it's obviously a lot more work, a lot more labor, but I was seeing the progression, the growth in real time. And The freedom, you can't compare the freedom to anything. The fact that you can work and work towards your goals while still having like some kind of like freedom. Obviously, we've all worked with people, with colleagues, for that manager that is like on your butt, right? Even the teachers, your parents. This was like away from all that. Now I'm like, you know, the how do you say it? The canvas is like all mine. Nobody's giving me like guidelines. I'm literally painting my own. I'm being my own Pablo Picasso, right? I'm painting, I'm drawing something. I want to do this right here. I have time. I don't want to schedule this appointment right here because it's pretty cool. It's a different experience. And it wasn't until I had that experience that I finally had like that uptightness that was within me, that everything had to go an orderly plan. And, you know, we're all uptight and we're all, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the right word to say, but I hope you catch it. It's better. It's better. I kind of lost my train of thought, but let me catch it. So, yeah, we build our own thing, right? And long story short, this is when like God started to reveal himself, and maybe later videos we'll do a little more in depth of, you know, how I came into this revelation, or he came to me, right? I was washing a car, and where I was washing the car, I noticed the only sun spot, the sunlight, whatever you want to call it, right? Everywhere else completely covered in clouds. You could do a whole 360 in downtown LA, completely covered in clouds. And I was like, that's the only opening of sunlight poking down, right? So I'm still washing the car. As I'm washing the car, I'm taking my glances upwards, and I'm seeing that it's clearing out the whole downtown LA throughout the hour. I was like, okay, that's something different. You know, the fact that it already caught my attention from the beginning. I was like, okay, now I'm gonna see more about God, right? And I was already in that process of, through that self-development journey. That's when I stumbled across Jordan Peterson, right? And I was already, man, this is interesting. But it was more of a psychological, of a mental plane of why it's necessary to believe or to live as if there is a God. I was more from that aspect, not from the supernatural that I'm seeing, right? That's the whole initial point of why I stopped following God in the first place, was because it just didn't make sense. Like, I believe in science. I don't believe in God, you know, Nacho Libre. So yeah, I began like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, just like a syllabus. You're looking through different people. I stumbled across Dr. Farrakhan, other people, but it was like a brief syllabus. So I repent for saying, oh, I learned these religions, when as I'm looking back and I'm really analyzing, I didn't really learn the religions, but I kind of just like, it's like the first day of class. You just hear the person talk about what's to expect, and that's it. You don't really get a full grasp of it. So I repent for saying that I learned the different religions. But yeah, I stumbled across a Christian pastor. She was prophesying, speaking in tongues. I was like, man, this is something different, because I was already getting interested with God, so which allowed me to pray, which was something I never did, but I had an empowerment, you know. Empowerment is like a desire to feel inspired to do something, right? And although I wasn't tying anything, my belief towards any God, any religion, I was empowered to pray, knowing that the all-powerful, right? Because God is all-powerful. And as I'm praying, I would get these goosebumps, right? So I'm doing that consistently for about a month, 2-3 months. Then I stumbled across, well, God revealed himself through this cloud scenario, right? Then I'm researching very briefly these different religions. I stumble across this Christian pastor. She's prophesying, speaking in tongues. And as she's speaking in this unknown language, right? This is the first time I'm hearing her speak in tongues, or anybody in tongues, and I'm getting goosebumps. She's also saying it's very entertaining, right? She's like, oh, this person has this issue, you're healed, just go get this and you're whatever, right? It's like, how can she know all this stuff if she's just in a live video like I'm doing, and I'm just calling out like, look, you have a problem with your wrist or whatever it is, right? You're healed. You know what I mean? And you're probably healed already as we speak. But that's how it was. Like, she was doing this and I was entertained. I was like, man, I'm getting these goosebumps. After about a week from watching her, 3 weeks in total of the whole cloud scenario, she says something different. She says, close your eyes to one of you guys. Close your eyes. It's about 300 people. One of you guys close your eyes to receive a message from God. I'm like, what? This was way different from other things. Usually it's about healing. So I do that. Turn off the phone, put it to the side. And as soon as I close my eyes, I see Hebrews 12. It lights up like that. Clear as day, like a TV screen. It's in block dotted letters, Hebrews 12. And it lights up so I can read along with it. I'm chilling there for like a good 2 minutes, right? And as soon as I don't know, I can't remember if I opened my phone. I definitely didn't have a book, so I'm pretty sure it was a phone. Hebrews 12. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside the sin which so easily entangles us, and let us run with patience the race marked in front of us, lifting our eyes unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. And it talks about God disciplines the ones he loves, so don't undergo hardship as God doesn't love you, but he's treating you as a son, you know. And it talks about a lot of personal things, right? But also too is like, if a good father knows how to reward his son according to how he knows best, what better can the Father of spirits, right, do to bless his children, right? But yeah, from that moment, it was the beginning of supernatural experiences. And long story short, we're at 11, almost 12 minutes. God is real, not just from a psychological, you know, there's supernatural good and there's supernatural bad, you know. Hopefully down the line, Lord willing, we'll talk about, you know, personal experiences and, you know, things that I've learned that and have gone through that testifies the good and the bad, you know. And yeah, it's a walk of faith. You don't need to be perfect, you know. Tommy Zuko has a lyric that says, I'm not perfect, but I'm being perfected, right? I like that. But yeah, don't lose the faith. Remember, man, stop thinking things so with human logic, which was I was caught in this, you know. It's a lot better just putting your faith and your trust in God. And, you know, yes, the Bible, it sounds so old, but it's over less than 2,000 years, right? In the span of different authors. You can do your research. Cliff, you know, he can definitely make you a believer. That's a Drake lyric too. But yeah, I like lyrics, you know. I'm very musically inclined, so I like to bring things to like lyrics. And at least it's kind of like the Transformers Bumblebee, when he's just playing different songs. That's kind of how I am, and that's how I link things, experiences. But yeah,